Welcome back. This is the second episode in the Outdoo Coaching Room series. And in this one, I want to talk about something that comes up a lot: sales roleplay and coaching, because most teams are doing it, but it's not actually preparing reps for the real conversations. So, in this video, we are going to break down why traditional roleplays don't actually work, where they fall short at scale, and how teams are starting to use AI roleplay to make practice more realistic. Most corporate training doesn't prepare you for the real conversations, and it's not because companies aren't investing enough. It's because the way we train doesn't actually match with what's happening with the customers. There's actually a well-documented phenomenon called the forgetting curve, right? And research shows that people forget 70% of what they learn within the first 24 hours of the training session. So companies are spending billions and billions of dollars on training every year, and most of it is gone before the rep even gets on their next call. Let's take this roleplay scenario. You grab a colleague, maybe your manager plays the customer. Everyone already knows the script, right? Everyone is being a little nicer than the real buyer would ever be. And the rep, they know kind of what's gonna come. So even if the session goes well, it really doesn't translate because it wasn't a real conversation. It was just a cooperative exercise of sorts where outcome was basically decided before even the call started. And when the rep gets on the actual call, the customer pushes back the way they didn't expect, right? The conversation goes somewhere they didn't plan for, and everything just falls apart. And I won't call that bad luck, right? That's just what happens when you practice in a very controlled environment and you're suddenly dropped into an unpredictable one. So I want to talk about why traditional role plays don't work at scale and how teams are starting to use AI role play to practice real conversations in a way that actually prepares them. Let's talk about the problem with the traditional role play, right? It's not realistic enough. Teams put a lot of effort into role play, right? The problem is that it's really hard to simulate a real customer when the other person already knows the context, right? They know the product, they know the pitch, they know you're just trying to practice, right? So the conversation becomes a cooperative sort of, instead of challenging, and that's not how real sales actually works. Real conversations are unpredictable. Customers would interrupt, they change direction, they push back in ways you didn't even expect. Now, problem two, it doesn't scale. You can't realistically run actual role plays with every rep. The managers don't have that much time, and reps don't get enough repetitions to actually improve. So it ends up being like once in a while thing rather than an actual habit, right? Research consistently shows that retention from active practice like role play sits around 75% compared to just 5% from standard lecture sort of sessions, right? But if only practice is repeated over time and reinforced over time. Now let's talk about AI role plays, right? Instead of practicing with another person, teams can now practice with an AI that actually behaves like a real buyer. It responds differently every time, it pushes back, it asks you unexpected questions, and it can simulate completely different scenarios depending on what you need to work on, right? The rep is no longer just reading script. They are actually thinking, reacting, adapting in the moment, and that's much closer to what happens in the real conversations, which is exactly what traditional roleplay was trying to achieve, but it couldn't. The next big shift is consistency. Every rep can practice anytime across different scenarios without depending on the manager or waiting for a scheduled session. And that completely changes what's possible, because now the repetition is what drives retention and makes it actually achievable. What will happen? Reps start getting comfortable with uncomfortable situations because they have already faced that pushback in their practice, right? They have already made those mistakes in a safe environment. And we have seen that organizations that combine consistent coaching with realistic practice are 63% more likely to produce top performance. You still need coaching, right? You still need strategy, and none of that actually goes away. What changes now is how reps actually build real conversational skills. Because instead of learning once and hoping it sticks against the forgetting curve, right? They are practicing it repeatedly in realistic scenarios that mirror what actually happens in the calls. Honestly, this is the moment we are seeing across teams right now. Less theory and more realistic practice. Less one-time sessions, more continuous repetition. So when it happens on the real call, it's not the first time they've seen it. That shift towards practicing real conversations at scale is exactly what we are working on and we are building at Outdoo. Because the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it in the real calls is where most deals are lost. And that's the problem we are focused on closing. If this resonated, please subscribe. And if you want to see what it actually looks like in practice, go and check out our playground, and the link is in the description below.